All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. But this video, yep, PayPal link there also. They actually I put it up. But this video though is entitled "Being a Black Male One Man Army." So, brothers, let me talk to y'all. We're gonna talk, right? We're gonna talk about this. A lot of times, life is difficult for some of us, and life is more difficult for others, right? Difficulter. Right. That's not a word. I don't care. But if you have to be a black male one man army, you're gonna learn some things. First and foremost, you know what that means. You're one man army. You are the cavalry. Ain't no help. Ain't nobody come and save you. Ain't no support system. If you don't make it, you won't make it. So the thing about it is, some people are forced into it, but it's more so a parenting thing, because I see this more so now as I get older, where I talk to younger guys and younger family members, and I swear to God, like once they turn 18, I don't know you, son. What you mean you don't know him? Like, you're not gonna tell him nothing? So they grow to be one man army. So all the things that you didn't teach these kids, they got to learn on the fly. And this is from a person who has to learn all these things on the fly. Here's what I tell you: people are gonna try to screw you over every chance you get, and you're gonna have to hold your temper, keep your wits about yourself, and be on the defensive, and be able to bounce back. And you're going to learn from mistakes that you didn't necessarily make. When people just saw you as food or as lunch, or they purposely did something that, see, sometimes when you're young starting out, people do things to you because it's not that just that they can get away with it. You don't really know what they're doing, and you don't know if it's wrong. You can feel it's wrong, but you don't know how to prove it's wrong because you don't know the inner workings of whatever's going on, right? And they realize you're one man army because when you're young, they just throw you to the wolves. So most people don't think you're going to be able to survive long enough to come back around to make them pay for that. So people who are and who are weak people prey on a young one man army. See, they think that's cute, but see, when you see them people years later, and you know the ropes and you've been around the block, they go from that's the way things go, kid, to how you doing? Look, that was a long time ago, and Jesus has changed me. Yes, he has. I'm not that person anymore, and I need your forgiveness. What did you do with what you stole from me, though? God made me pay for my sins. No. No. I don't care what God made you pay for. You gonna pay me. Period. See, it changes. And when you're a black male one man army, you gotta understand this. The same thing goes with law enforcement. But here's where you get young and stupid. If you're young and you're a one man army and you think I know my rights, you don't got no rights. Okay, you ain't got no rights. If you dealing with the law, you ain't got no rights. Stop. Unless you're willing to forfeit your rights, and then wherever it goes, and you willing to take on that responsibility as a one man army. Also, if you ain't willing to do that, you ain't got no rights. Shut up. Just get it out of the way. Get yourself home. Ticket, no ticket, whatever. Court date, whatever. But that's not what they're gonna tell you. Should title this lessons from being a black male one man army, right? So people not gonna talk to you about credit. People not gonna talk to you about budgeting. People not gonna talk to you about business. You're gonna have to figure some things out. And here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with hands-on training. See, sometimes you feel like, if you're a one man army, the beauty of that is you're gonna be an army in the valley. So you can't be too good for the valley because you might be in the valley longer than other people before you get to the mountaintop. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So the problem that you're gonna have to understand is hone your skills while you're in the valley. Don't be too good for the valley. Don't be too entitled to be at the bottom. See, everybody want to be at the top, but don't nobody want to be at the bottom. And if you don't master the bottom, you never master the top. Never. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother thing, right? When you become a one-man army, it's kind of like you start to learn you got to be good all across the board. Do you want a team? Absolutely. But at some point you might not necessarily need a team, and you might not necessarily trust a team, or you might have to find a team of like other one man army type people because people might not be able to keep up. They might not be able to keep up, and it'll be different, because everybody's not willing to put in the everybody doesn't know how hard it is. Sometimes when you do a lot of stuff on your own, you might make it, if you get accustomed to it and you get regimented at it and it becomes a normal part of your routine, it looks easy. Like everything that somebody's a professional at looks very easy. But you got to remember that they put years and years and hours into it. So it's part of their routine. Now that's what makes it look easy, but it ain't easy. Because when you do it, it ain't that easy. You get what I'm saying? Because you didn't dedicate as much time to it. So this is one of the things you're gonna learn is the things that may be hard as far as operating without a support system is not everybody can't do that. And some people are forced to do it, like I said, and other people just grow into it, And it's the reason I'm talking about this really is because sometimes people think it's the same. Like it's not normal to be a one man band. You know what I'm saying? It's normal to have a network or support system, but everybody doesn't have that. So they have a different approach. You might either, if you are smart, you might wind up ahead of people, or you might, because you're so hands-on, you kind of surpass people because you learn the lessons the hard way early on. So you don't make the mistakes other people do, because if you're a one-man army, you realize your mistakes going to cost you more than they would a person who has support. So you may be a little bit more tactical, or a little bit more reserved, or a little bit more conservative, right? And you don't have the, you might not have the luxury to have reckless abandon. You get what I'm saying? So it's a little different. But you may also be a late bloomer because you might not understand nuance. Like you might be late to the party as far as nuance is concerned because you're so busy trying to hold a fort that, you can only see the trees. You can't see the forest. So you at a certain point, you start to, when you get comfortable enough, you start to see the forest and start to see the nuance and start to see the changes. And you're like, oh, okay, I can expand like other people expand. Like, okay, I can turn this into that, but you do it in a one-man way. The good thing about it, though, is even when you have a team, you run deep, right? There are going to be moments where your team can't help you, your team can't save you. You're just going to be on your own. Now, once you get accustomed to being a one-man army, you're going to be accustomed to being on your own. So when those do or die moments come up, when it's just you and whatever's facing you, you're more you have a better ability to handle that. It's like, I got this, no problem. It's a small thing to a giant. But I will say this: you have to be careful about your patience, because you may not be as patient with people if when you're a one-man army, because you might look at them like you got too much support to you might feel like they're wasting their talent or their support or their networks. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that everybody can't be that. Because even if anybody read the Bible, there's a part where Jesus talks about, could you take this cup from me or pass this cup from me, in a sense. And he was having a conversation with God about, like, I'm about to get crucified. Can you just, I ain't got, come on, man, take this from me. Don't have me do this. But that was the cards that was dealt. Because you may have been dealt certain cards, that doesn't necessarily mean you wanted to be a one-man army yourself. So you got to understand that everybody wasn't put in your situation. So you have to be patient with people, because they don't, they're operating from, in essence, a more normal sense. Because even the military uses teams. There's no, like, just lone soldier that go out there. But, even if they have a small alpha team, it's a team. You know what I mean? So you got to learn that, be patient, because you're the abnormal one out the bunch, to be perfectly honest. But with much great power comes great responsibility, because if you become a one-man army, people are they're gonna always depend on you, and you probably never be in a position. You'll never depend on them, and they may not never look at you, in a sense, to do anything to show their appreciation for you being that army. You're gonna be looked at as a soldier. You're just doing your job. You're not, how, like, people in America, we salute the soldiers, salute the veterans, but truth be told, we don't really love them like we say we love them. You're gonna be like that, okay? So I'm gonna title it "Lessons from a Black Male One Man Army." We out on this one. Peace.